So it is the day before Valentine's Day, and it's the first one without my dad. And I just ordered flowers for my mom to be sent to her work. They were together for 40 years. And it really just is reinforcing how my shopping behaviors and consumption behaviors are so emotionally driven, because I have a replacement coming in the mail. It's just vitamin C serum. It's nothing super exciting. But I really wish it was coming today. And like on some level, I feel like that would make me feel better, which is really dumb, but that is what it is. And it really puts into perspective like just how much what I'm feeling like was affecting like what my bank account looked like and what my life was, you know, what was coming in and out of my life possession wise. Like yeah, weird thought. Weird. It is officially February, and for those of you who are following along on my no-buy journey, you know that I'm not buying clothing or accessories, makeup or skincare, fabric or yarn, books or homewares in 2024. And now I have about 2 months under my belt, and we're sticking to it. We're doing it. We're sticking to the no-buy, even though that now the novelty of the year has worn off a little bit. I think that first month shine is not on it anymore. We've been sticking to it despite any additional stressors. So that's an exciting victory. I want to give a special congratulations to anybody who tried No Buy February with me for the first time. So if you completed No Buy February, or No Buy 3-week February, or No Buy 2-day February, if you did any part of a no or low buy in February this year, I want to give special kudos to you, because that first step I think is the toughest one, and the decision to do that is the toughest one. So good for you. This month has been illuminating for several reasons. The first of those is that despite only being 2 months in, my no-buy has already fundamentally and permanently changed much of my skincare and beauty routine. And while I can talk a bit about how that's happening and in what ways that's manifesting in another video, I wanted to talk in this one about why that's happening. A no-buy year is a practice of extremes. There's no question about that. Via this process, I am depriving my brain of chemicals that it is accustomed to and it is used to receiving on a very habitual basis. I was feeding these chemicals into my neural receptors in a habitual way, and now I've taken those away and eliminated the source of those feel-good endorphins cold turkey. It really throws into sharp relief just how much my emotions were and are tied to my personal shopping behaviors. I think I got away without truly registering this last month because I was still receiving packages on occasion. That novelty that I talked about was still very present and giving me the like happy new hyperfixation feelings that you get when you start a new project. But I think that was sort of overshadowing its subsequent introspection. So now with a little time, I can really reflect on those direct correlations. If you were to plot my emotional state on a graph next to my desire to exhibit acquisition-centered behaviors, you would very quickly see the parallels in a quantifiable way. That's why this no-buy is inextricably linked to intentionality to me, intentional living, intentional shopping. Because when you're caught up in that cycle of searching and scrolling and acquiring and receiving and starting all over again, it has a palpable and noticeable numbing effect on your brain. This numbing or quieting effect means you don't think as deeply about what goes in your cart or what goes in the grocery store cart or what is added to your online shopping wish list, because it's such a common occurrence. When it happens all the time, it's not something that your brain picks up on a regular basis, not in the same way. And reflecting deeply on something that you do so frequently and with such nonchalance is just impractical. You can't delve deep into the psyche every time you buy something when you buy something every other day. That's just exhausting. It's like if you think about digging a hole and you want to fill it with gravel, but there's a blue plastic tarp stretched across the top. And that tarp is stretched tight and it spans from edge to edge and it's held down all along the sides with cinder blocks. Buying is that plastic tarp. Buying blocks introspection and drowns it out in a way that is so insidious because it's so embedded in the fabric of our society. Now that I've sort of started to strip away that tarp and rip off that band-aid, I'm able to think more deeply about my purchases and what they mean and the effects that they have on myself and the world at large. So that means that there have been some fundamental changes in my beauty routine and the things that I buy and why. I'm really noticing that that shopping urge comes up in times of strong emotion. And I actually have taken a couple of videos, like post-therapy session. That's a sort of a trigger for me, is where I'm like, man, that was rough. I really wish I could just buy something or go shopping or scroll, or, you know, it is a self-soothing technique that I'm missing out on. And now that I'm doing these deep inner conversations, this deep inner dialogue, I'm noticing what effect that it has, and I wish that I had that coping mechanism to fall back on, but I don't, which is specifically why I'm doing this. I think I have some footage that I took, like a little video that I took when I was in that state, and I might put it up, but it's just interesting to think about the ways in which our emotions drive our actions in such a tangible way. Another aspect of my no-buy this month that I definitely wanted to mention in my check-in is how removing the constancy of consumption and removing the muffling effect of that purchase high, I'm starting to notice and grasp just how much shopping was stressing me out. I have this instinctual stress response that is happening as part of extended shopping outings. And it comes complete with this high heart rate, panicky, short of breath kind of feeling. And it's distinctly unpleasant because it's an emotion that sometimes leads me to buying something just in an attempt to eliminate that feeling, to alleviate that discomfort. And I'm not entirely sure where that stress spikes come from. I have a few ideas, but honestly, right now I'm not in any hurry to diagnose it or rationalize it. It's enough that I am noticing it, and it's enough that I'm feeling it. For now, it is enough just to sit with that knowledge, to pause and settle in and settle with that feeling and memorize what it feels like and memorize what that emotion feels like and does to me so that I can do my best to redirect and avoid and alleviate it in the future in a way that is healthy and sustainable. All that is to say that with 2 months under my belt, it has now become clear to me that for me, a no-buy year is not a casual thing. This is internal work. This is shadow work. And it requires a certain amount of focus and emotional energy and time to see it through to completion. And I'm excited that I'm giving myself that space because the things that I'm learning already are pretty surprising and impressive. And I'm excited to see what other things I learn along the way. So here's to that, and here's to you manifesting magic in your own life. Bye. I didn't buy anything at the store though, so I had to go to the store today, and just the grocery store, but I didn't get anything to staunch that feeling, or nothing like fun stuff in the makeup aisle or scarves at the checkout counter. Well, I don't know stuff, because it's just stuff and it's not actually going to make me feel better. So I think that's progress. This is what progress looks like.